This is a healthy cherry tree. Now I'm going to show you a tree planted at the same time that's not healthy. But let's first look at these leaves. Nice and green and upright. A healthy cherry tree just waking up in the spring. Now let me show you one that's not. Wilted leaves. Horrible. This tree is going to die. And I'll tell you why. This beautiful cherry tree, black cherry tree, was stressed the year I planted it by a mole. So as you can see, this side, we've got nice growth. I pruned off a few feet. This side is a couple feet with less growth. That was because of the mole. Well, the mole came back, and late winter and early spring, that little bugger was all around this tree again. And that stress, even though it didn't kill the tree, it didn't even wilt the tree, but that stress made this tree attract the ambrosia beetle. Now, some ambrosia beetles will attack healthy trees, but usually they attack a stressed tree. So that mole stress in the root system made ambrosia beetles flock to this tree, and let me just show you all the little holes it made. Can you see those? See those little tiny pencil-sized holes? Can you see that? Well, before the rain, what you'll see is frass coming out of there. Basically wood pulp, squirting out of there like, looks like a worm, but it's wood. Well, the rain washed it away. In addition to that, I put tanglefoot on this tree. All that goop you see on there, that's tanglefoot. I put it on this tree so those little buggers can't escape before I can cut this thing down. So when they mature and try to get back out of that tree, including mom and dad, guess what? They're going to get tangle-footed, and they're not going to destroy any more of my trees this year. So this beautiful specimen of a black cherry that was going to give me cherries this year was destroyed by that little bugger called the ambrosia beetle. Now they did attack another tree, a 5-year-old persimmon. That was a healthy tree with no root damage from a mole, and yet they still attacked that tree. So by attacking that 5-year-old persimmon, which now I'm going to have to cut down, and what this little ambrosia beetle does is it has ambrosia fungus, and that's what its babies eat inside the tree, and that fungus clogs up the xylem. In addition to that, the little bugger will introduce other things like other fungi like fusarium or a couple others, and that will kill your tree. There's no cure for it. So this tree is a done deal. It's over for this cherry, which was one of my favorite little cherries. I just planted 3 a few years ago. I've got some older ones, but these are the young ones, and this was my favorite of the 3. Look at that. Here's the other one I planted. See the difference? Big, huge difference in the leaves. See this? Tiny, wilted leaves. Let me show you the other one I planted. This is another one. See how healthy it looks? No beetle holes, at least not yet. So I checked everything on the hill. There's about 50 trees here on the hill, and then I got to check a couple of my other orchards. There were only 2 trees that I could see that were affected by the ambrosia beetle. So I'll be checking my mature orchards. I have a few mini orchards that I have to check yet. But you don't want to mess around with the ambrosia beetle. The fungus that they bring in pretty much kills the tree if it's under 3 years. They can bring in the ambrosia fungus and other funguses like fusarium and a couple others, and they'll take out your tree. There's no cure, so you might as well just put it out of its misery. And you're risking your other trees because these buggers hatch out in 40 to 55 days to adulthood, and then they'll go to another tree and they'll keep hopping all summer like that. Even if you have warm winters, they can survive and breed and populate over the wintertime. So anyway, don't mess with the ambrosia beetle. It's worse than like the flathead borer or the round-headed borers, in my opinion. So borers are bad news. Ambrosias are really bad news because they bring in fungus every time. You can't get away from it. These are bad fungi that will destroy your tree if the boring insect itself does not destroy your tree. And they say that if it's a mature tree, about half of them may survive. But a young tree, myself, I would get rid of any age tree that gets attacked by the ambrosia beetle. If you can't prune out the holes, the cavities that they make, the galleries, then just take out the tree. And usually the ambrosia beetle likes the trunk, as do most of the wood-boring insects. They like the trunk. I'm going to go down there and check my mini orchards. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Signing out from Grow Health TV. Eat well, live well. Ciao.